Cottman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cottman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Hey guys, good evening, good day, good week, good all that stuff. How's it going?
It's going good. Everything's great.
Yes.
It's grand.
This guy, groovy.
Groovy. We're back in the 60s.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man. Groovy, man.
It's all great, man, dude.
I don't know if they talk like that in the 60s, though.
Well, Surfer
But they
Boys
do
did.
in the movies.
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm
no.
going by the movie
I
stereotype.
don't know what
of the
60
60s.
movies you watch.
Well, no, it was the Surfer dude. That Surfer
Surfer
dude took.
dude.
That's what it
Okay.
is.
The surfer.
Think so?
Yeah, man. It's okay, dude. Yeah, that's Surfer guy.
dude.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
Yes.
Radical, man.
Yeah.
It's radical.
There you go. Yeah, no. But love all the Surfer guys and girls too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
it's all good.
Yeah, I don't have the nuts to go.
Good vibes, man.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would like to try to surf, but nah.
Yeah,
Closest I've come is boogie boarding.
maybe. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'll watch.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
yeah.
go ahead. I'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, no,
But I don't fall asleep.
yeah, no lie. So everything else is good and groovy. I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear.
it's good, man.
We're chilling. Good week. So for our listeners, today's topic is psychedelics.
Speaking
Yes.
of groovy, man.
Yes.
Psychedelics, man.
Yes,
Good stuff.
fucking great.
It's good
No,
stuff.
but he's not high or nothing.
No.
He's
He's fine. He's feeling good.
It's just a good evening.
He's all right.
Yes. So we're talking about psychedelics, everything from mushrooms and who uses them and all that other stuff. Sir Lewis has done a little bit of research.
A little bit. A little bit.
A little bit more than
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Some experimentation.
Yeah, no, man, it's good stuff. You know, it's amazing how we've come from where it was just everybody was just doing it for
For fun.
for recreational.
recreational.
Yeah.
Right. Just to get high.
Back in the day, you know,
Right.
that's what it was, and of course there was other stuff going on. But that'll be another podcast.
Yeah.
But we come so far from that point till now with the things that you can do with it. But let's just say psychedelics. What are psychedelics, right? It's the most commonly known things: mushrooms, LSD, mescaline, or peyote, which is really only you can get. American Indians can only get it. We can get the lab version, which is fine. I'm sure nobody's upset about that.
Yeah.
Good stuff, and this stuff can be really therapeutic at the same time, and of course recreational. You know, people do it, so it could open a lot of things for you. You know,
Well, your thought process, your
process, medicinally,
Yeah,
and creativity, stuff like that.
They-
So it's
anything really.
they've legalized it for clinical use in, I think, Oregon and maybe Washington.
Yeah.
I know.
Right. And a lot of places are doing like microdose type things where they're you can volunteer for it.
Microdose and full dose, like full, guided like trip where you're, through like I have a friend. I'm not going too off topic. I have a friend, and her and her mother. She does the she does so like a guided, like kind of like a guided meditation, but with magic.
with magic
Mushrooms,
fruit.
but not-
mushrooms,
but not
What's up?
but not like meditation. So more like a guided therapy, and
Right.
like my and her mom said like she it's like better than 5 years of therapy. Like that's how,
absolutely.
for one like session.
But now you said, what's the difference between the microdose and an official dose?
Well, microdose, you're just supposed to feel, it makes you feel happy. Like you can take like a half a mushroom cap or a full mushroom. Like it's a small amount, so it doesn't have, you don't like hallucinate or anything like that. You just like feel like very euphoric and happy.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
More comfortable, and then you just go from,
Yeah.
talk about whatever it is that you're, but you're probably just talking about anything really. And it's just that alone is going to be therapeutic. I really think so. I mean, for myself, I will say that I have experienced,
Dude, your eyes right now.
I'm going to say it was incredible. It's probably one of the best things I ever did. I emotionally and, I don't want. If I say spiritual, I'm going to sound corny, and I don't want to sound like that. It was
Wait,
definitely.
well,
it was
there's been
definitely
a couple of shows that's not making
euphoric
it
for
sound
sure.
corny.
But I could tell you,
Spirituality.
it definitely allowed me to whatever
Right.
was going on. I was able to let it come through and not fight it. And at the same time, I don't know if it's possible, but if it's not, I was able to do it. I was laughing and crying at the same time, and laughing at myself for crying.
For crying.
And I started laughing. So
Yo,
it was good.
fighting
No, it was good. It was a great experience. And you should have somebody who will be with you. You should have a trip sitter or somebody like that, because it's good in case something does go wrong and you have the wrong mindset or the mind thought,
Right.
and you can go in the wrong direction. Someone can get you back on the path to where you should be, kind of walk you out. I kind of did that with my brother. He kind of had an experience with something, and I had to get his ass out of it before we ended up in the emergency room, and we were half stoned out of our face.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to kill you.
Well, listen.
But I got him out of it, and that's what I told him afterwards. I said, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Because I was going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting in the middle of the emergency room, and we're blinded out of our face.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, listen. First of all,
But
nobody
that
should just
was-
do drugs.
I was-
well, let's say that too. Nobody should just
No.
go
I'm
bananas
just saying,
and
hey, listen,
do
this is
drugs
not
and-
right. We're not here to condone,
Yeah,
not to encourage anybody. We're
Right.
going off of just our research and things that we know about through our lives, and then the experiences we
We're
had.
not
And
saying you have to do it. It's
Yeah.
if you want to.
that's on you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
you,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
If you don't,
Do your
that's good
research.
too.
Yep. Yeah.
And make sure just do what you ever need to do to be safe if you're going to try
Right.
something out. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and that's our
but you can do it
disclaimer.
through therapy now too, and that's a thing.
Yeah.
they can do it
and
through
that's-
therapy.
And that's what you were saying too. So then we'll start with the top of the stuff that we were talking about. So now a group of psychoactive drugs.
That may induce hallucinations and feelings of euphoria, which is what we were just saying, but also for use for medicinal purposes.
Okay. So
It's
now,
used for benefits like your mental health, migraines, anxiety, depression, which again, microdosing is involved in that.
right.
And you would keep going back, from what I understand. It's not just one session. It's usually more than one, depending on
Yeah,
what's
the full
going
trip
on.
is like one session or
Right.
like a couple, but those are multiple.
Right.
And
Right.
Speaking of medical purposes, they've actually cured some people's Tourette's, like with psychedelics.
Really?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I believe
but
it.
I'm sure probably not like extreme cases of Tourette's, but someone who might have like minor tics, maybe.
Okay.
Like not like the full like verbal tics, like where they're like
Yeah.
completely. Yeah.
I knew somebody who was like that. And then they would have violent, not to get off on subject here, but they would have like violent body. They would throw their body around too at the same time. It was scary stuff, you know. So, but anyway, go ahead. You finished what you were saying.
I'm saying like it's probably like more like it can cure it could probably treat people with severe Tourette's, but like for like minor Tourette's could probably cure it, and that's amazing. 'Cause, that's like the dirty word in the medical and like and psychological field is cure. Like treat.
Right,
treat
because
you.
anything that makes you feel good shouldn't really help you.
Right.
Is what that
Yeah,
mindset
they
is, which makes
right,
no
no.
sense.
No
you
one
know?
says
yeah.
cure because then it's
Right.
like so
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, anything you do,
Yeah.
and if it's moderation
Yeah. Knock it out.
with anything, good, enjoy yourself. That's what I say. So have a good time and be happy, enjoy yourself. If you do it, if you're going to get crazy with it, then you're going to have consequences that you bring onto yourself.
Right.
And that's just common sense.
Now, does it feel the same way? Because you say anxieties too. So,
So
does it feel the same way as if you're smoking weed?
No, totally not. Totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done mescaline before too.
Right.
And when I was younger, of course. And it kind of started feeling like that when it started. And then it was just a totally different feeling. Like I just felt good. I felt good, and I was in my head. I had my eyes were closed. I laid in bed, listened to music, and just allowed the colors in my head, and just kind of did it more in the mindset rather than the visual.
Right.
I wanted to do it in the mind. Laid on bed, and I had my trip sitter, my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. She was great. She enjoyed herself immensely. She
Uh-huh,
thought it
'cause
was
she was laughing at
hysterical.
your ass.
She
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was great. She thought it was great.
Yeah. She was laughing and crying
and-
at the same time too.
Yeah.
Because she was laughing at your ass.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was absolutely. But I wanted to do it that way. And I researched it too, because I didn't want to just roam free and do that. Because I was a little nervous about it. And I'll be honest with you, I wanted to make, because I didn't want to have a bad trip.
Right.
That's
You know what I mean?
biggest
And that's
fear.
the main thing. So you want to be in the main thing is to be in the right mindset. If you're not in the right mindset, that's what you're going to wind up probably bringing on. And it's going to be harder to get you to where you want to be. And
I get that.
And that could be, you're going to be doing that for a few hours. And
Right.
that's going to suck.
Like I have
ass.
anger issues. I have like super
Yeah.
anger issues.
But you know what? I don't, but that's not what that will bring out though.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying by bad trip, I mean more like things that that are going on in your head in the sense of like, horrible, horrific things, whatever it is that, or anything that went in your life that but I think, listen, I'm an angry guy. I know I can get angry or whatever. I've gotten better through the years, of course, but I'm saying, but that's not anything that ever came up at all. It was just, I was comfortable. I was relaxed. I was in a place that I was familiar with, and I had somebody with me, and I just enjoyed myself. It was great. And yes, I was. The water was coming out of my
Laughing
eyes.
so
It was
hard.
crazy. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, but I feel good right now. I don't understand that. And then I'm laughing at myself. It was unbelievable.
And Tom, you said you had pretty much the same or similar.
Yeah, I mean, I only microdosed. I took, like a regular dose is like a gram, like 5 or 6 mushrooms. I only had like 2.5. And I just was like, I was
sounded like
I was
that?
watching like TV and I was like crying and laughing at the same time, and I was happy. It's the same thing. Like you experience euphoria, you cry, and you're like laughing at the same time. It's weird to have multiple emotions all at once. Very bizarre. Like I'm laughing at myself crying. Like, I was watching like a commercial. I'm like,
but the good thing about the
oh my god, I can't believe myself.
That's
crying like a
so
little
weird.
bitch.
Yo, that's
Yeah, no,
fucking hilarious.
but the funny thing too was is that the crying felt good as well.
Right.
That was the thing that made it even better, because it was allowing me to just kind of let it, whatever was going on, or whatever I was bottling up, holding on to, was like, guess what? The dam has opened and we're coming out. So what do we got? We got 4.5 hours. Get ready to go for the ride, baby. It was a good one.
Funny.
It
That
was a
is
good one.
fucking hilarious.
So yeah, and that's what I would hope for anybody if they decide to do anything like that. Of course, be safe, but that's what you're looking for, really. I think.
Yeah.
when it
Well, I'm
comes to
bugging
something
out
like
because
that.
they said you said that for mental health, the migraines. So I get migraines. I
Right.
get bad headaches. But see, I'm not gonna lie, because of my upbringing, I'm nervous to try.
You should be.
This. You know what I'm saying? To
should
help.
be.
I'm scared.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want to use this as. I don't think I would be cool for me personally.
So
I would. Yeah, I was just hold on.
Yeah,
Can you-
yeah.
I was going to say, and he's probably going to say the same thing I'm saying. You would do it through a therapy thing.
Uh huh.
So if you went to a therapist where you can do a microdosing, that was where that would come in.
Mm-hmm.
And they would regulate it, and you would be with somebody, and you would be in a comfortable setting, and they would make sure everything is good, and then it would be different. Most people who do it, hold on to that thought. Most people who do it, a lot of the things that I've watched are nervous when they go in. They
Right.
want to do it, but they're scared. And I just said it before, right? I was like nervous. I was worried about
Right.
it. That's natural. You should be. I think you should be more worried if you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So,
finish
I
your
was
thought.
talking to people about like mushrooms are a little bit different than like LSD. Like LSD, like you're having an intense trip. With mushrooms, you're in control pretty much the whole time, and like you won't have like a bad trip where like the fucking walls are bleeding. There's
Right, yeah.
Spiders crawling
Like The
on
Shining,
you, like
the
shit
fucking-
like
the
that.
two
Like,
twins standing
that's
in
the
the
kind of
freaking
shit-
back.
That's the kind of shit that can happen
Yeah.
on LSD.
Right.
I've never,
Absolutely.
I've never done
Absolutely.
it before, but I've heard from people that have done LSD.
But you can also microdose on that as well, too. They're doing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now the funny is because like we were saying earlier that ancient civilizations were we know that they were smoking weed, they were chewing on the cocoa leaves and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They still do in some of the jungles that are left in the world. A lot of these tribes they do that.
Yeah.
So that then now, well, I don't want to say now because we already said too in the 70s, 60s, 70s, well in the 50s.
It's been going
60s,
on
like,
way before we even got involved
that,
in it.
Yeah, that people were doing it, quietly,
For thousands of years.
and so now that a lot of the drugs are starting to, now it's more, you hear more about them. You hear more that, doctors are using medical.
Right. Because people are more accepting and understanding that, oh, wow, okay, actually these things can help you. But like anything else, again, if abused, it's no good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether it's made in a freaking lab or it's natural, it goes the same for you both. It doesn't make a difference, you know. Yeah.
That's just wild.
It reminds me of Cat Williams when he's like, it's just a plant that grows there, and if you happen to set it on fire, and he's like, yeah, but aspirin, you take 10 aspirin, that's the last headache you'll ever have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're waking up. You're dying.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
That's every day I'm hustling.
Every day I'm hustling.
So
hustling,
nobody knows.
hustling.
Everybody knows that's Lou's song.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
Yo, that's funny. And then so again, going back to the people, ancient civilizations using any of these drugs, and even now American Indians, they use it for spiritual stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's how they got closer to their gods, to the spirits that be, and all that other good stuff. So
for a spiritual journey of some sort, even religious, because religions have too. And remember, I don't know if I would want to. I would probably be more on the spiritual end of it than a religious thing for me. I'm more of a spiritual guy, but I bet each his own. If it works for you and it gets you where you need to be, all the power to you. You know what I mean? That's great stuff. So I have no complaints.
So many indigenous tribes,
have
like you said, like the Native Americans, North Americans,
peyote,
the Native Central and South Americans, I forget what the
Aztec.
That was another one, salvia. That's another popular one.
Oh, so wait, hang out. So there's a bunch of drugs that aren't even on our board, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that, like not LSD, but stuff that we wouldn't normally be looking for. This is powerful stuff like LSD would be, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Was the one that was legal for a long time, and before it became illegal.
But who they use it on? Or who's it used for?
What's the time limit on that? You said it's a short.
Yeah, so it's very strange. So that's probably why it wasn't illegal, but people started making extracts out of it, and it was making like a stronger version. So if you just have the plant and smoke it, you laugh a lot, and like you can stick, like you get like locked to things, like you can't get out. You think you're stuck on the couch, like weird shit like that happens. But you don't really. You might see like waves, but the time limit is super short. 5 minutes. That's all it lasts.
Right.
But what happened is people started making extracts out of it. I bought the 60 extract 60 times.
That just sounds like a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's 30, there's 60, and then there's like 120. So I guess that's how they can, I guess it goes by, whatever. So it's like 15, 30, 60, 120. I guess it just doubles each time. But anyway, so I got the 60 extract. This is years ago. This is back like
Sorry about the papers, people.
Yeah. It's all right. It's back in 2010. I was off from work. Actually the day of my grandfather's funeral. Very strange. I was home. Tara was working half a day, and I said, "Let me try this." And I smoked in the bathroom. I'm still living in my apartment. I look in the mirror and I look in my eyes, and I just I went into another dimension. I wasn't even me anymore. I just saw like a ring, which I guess was really my pupil. Right. Because I went to look in the mirror to see if my eye was dilated. Because they say your pupils are dilated if you're under the influence.
First mistake he made. Yes, he looked in the mirror.
Disappeared into another dimension. It was so fucking weird. Like, it's very extreme. Like, they say, like, if you have, like, the salvia extracts, they are the stronger than LSD. But it's short-lived.
It's short-lived, right.
60X.
But it's very powerful.
I was like...
You can't even get it anymore, though.
Allegedly, you can still get on the internet, but
But I'm saying, like, you could have gone to your local supermarket and picked it up, basically, before they banned
or wherever. Yeah, they could sell it in the store or whatever.
Right.
But I whisked into another dimension. It was very strange. I wasn't even me anymore. I wasn't in my own reality. It's just I don't even know how to describe it. I wasn't me, and I wasn't in.
That's scary
anymore.
Now, how long did it last?
Like 5 minutes, and I just like pulled myself out of it, and I like turned my head, and then it was gone. It was like a light switch. Just it turned back on. Like the lights turned back on. It was very strange.
That's some crazy shit.
Like man. It was and it was like that. It was a switch. It wasn't like a calm down and a build up.
Right.
Like it was just like
boom boom.
Switch on switch off.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes later, switch off. Very strange.
That's crazy. I had an experience like that when I got hit by a car. I ran out between two cars playing hockey in the street. ran out, got hit by a car, went up in the air, and everything was slow motion.
Yeah.
And until I hit the ground, everything went back. As soon as I hit the ground, went back to normal speed. It was the weirdest.
Yeah. But that's the Matrix.
Whatever it is, bro, it was scary. It was like you were like, it was like something is your body did something, or your mind for some reason already knows it's trauma or whatever's going on.
Right.
Other powers there be.
I'm just saying.
Could be outside, you know.
Yeah.
That has something to do with adrenaline or something.
Yeah.
Like,
But why would it go back to normal as soon as I hit the ground? That was the thing that freaked me out.
Well, I think it's probably more because, like you said, your body's in shock. So that then the shock and the adrenaline rush
And then
is to make your body like for the muscles for whatever.
So you don't freak out.
That you don't freak out, but that this way, it's your body's protection,
Right.
to keep that when you hit the ground. Not always.
Just a crazy
but,
experience. I'm just saying that only because of what you were saying about the light switch kind of thing. That's kind of how it was. You know, it was like,
very
oh,
Yeah.
bing, gone. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That's hilarious. So then we're talking about, you with the getting hit by a car and whatnot, that you felt. That was the other thing on the board. Now we have for there's experiments,
Experiences of hallucinations, changes of awareness, and surroundings.
So then that's where you're saying,
Yeah.
that's
Right, your surroundings. You had that with the salvia. You had that more so.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm sure you could get it.
Your face is priceless.
I think you could get it with anyone. Like my friends told me, they say, hey, don't take all of it, take a little of it, and then work your way up.
Right.
Because you can't subtract as soon as you take it. If you take all of it, you're stuck for the whole duration. There's no way, you can't get out of that. So you start off, you microdose, or you take a certain amount. You say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And then you build it up.
Right.
And you can go from there because now you're in control. Now you know where you're at.
Right.
You can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can judge it to where you know what I'm saying? You can,
Right.
And okay, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine here. I don't need it anwood
Right.
But if you do it the other way, you're screwed. No, and if you're lucky enough, you can get through it. Hey, God bless you. But most people, that would probably be because you're totally going to be tripping.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to be on a full.
Because that's a lot, bro.
That's a lot. You can definitely be hallucinating and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing. But you don't want to do it right out of the fucking gate. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying it should be done. Every once in a while, kind of thing. It shouldn't be done all the time. But when you do it, maybe the next time you do decide to do it, you do a little more than you did the time you did before. So you know what I mean? And you kind of go down that route, which is probably probably the smartest way. Now, if this was your 17 or 16-year-old self, give me the whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
give me the whole bag.
Yeah, everything's bad.
Yeah, you
Right.
pussy, I'll take it all.
Right.
That's like in what do you call it? What movie was that? Super Troopers, where he's like, he's like trying to eat all the mushrooms so he doesn't get, and he's like, the snozberries taste like snozberries. He's like
That's
licking
awesome.
the glass.
The snozberries.
Yo, that's
great,
man.
Willy Wonka, that is
freaking
that's
funny
awesome
as
shit,
hell,
man. Yeah, so I mean, all the stuff that's on the board is good, and then of course recreational use, right? I mean, hey, listen, what's it going to hurt? I always say that alcohol is the worst thing when it comes to all that other stuff. Even so many comedians talk about it and joke about it when they say, even Snoop Dogg said it. Actually, I was watching a thing, and I'm not verbatim, but he said something to the effect. He said you could probably have a bunch of people in a room, whoever they are, and smoke some weed, and then everything's good, everybody's chilling, everybody's getting along with each other. But if you start drinking, there's going to be a brawl, something's going to break out, something's going to go down, So I always, and I agree with that because alcohol is like, I know many people who drink and they are like they suck in general anyway when they drink, they get worse. You know what I mean? It's just like,
because when you're like drunk, not just like a few beers.
No, if you got a buzz, hey, it's good.
But if you're like drunk, like you don't have motor function. You're fucking slurring your speech,
or you're belligerent is really what I'm talking about. You're
some
a nasty
people get
fuck.
belligerent because you lose your inhibitions.
Right.
Like all the inhibitions that stop you from doing shit.
Right.
That's out the window.
And I truly believe that with alcohol,
you're completely impulsive. You know.
You're also the real person, the truer person that you are than the person you are when you're sober.
Yeah, because you don't have inhibitions.
Because that shit that starts coming out, like when they get people, I don't know if you probably know people who have not really good when they drink alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they start off okay. And then the next thing you know, they're verbally abusing you or acting like a total, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a piece of shit. Meanwhile, I'm the one who's drunk and falling down, fucking hitting walls, but you're an asshole.
But the funny with that is that most of the people that I drink with,
that
we're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't have that issue.
Yeah, because you deal with good people who are good minds.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So
you know what I'm saying?
My
So
family,
like
my people.
I was the guy.
Now, you may be the exception, and maybe that night you were on.
Well, I'm fucking special, bro. Yeah. No.
When I used to drink, I was the I love you, man guy. I
Yeah.
love you, I love you,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love you, man. I just want to let you know that. Like, but like, when we all have inhibitions, inhibitions means, for those who don't know, like that is when you hold yourself back. Like oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't. It's your conscience, everything, keeping you in check, right?
Right.
When you're under the influence of alcohol, those inhibitions go out the window. So you're just completely impulsive. You say what's on your mind. You do what you want.
Inhibitions come here for a second.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Get in the closet.
Fuck out of here.
Exactly. So like you don't hold yourself back on pretty much anything. The more alcohol you have, the less you hold yourself back.
Right.
But see, like for me, I think I'm the same person no matter what.
Yeah.
I have yet to hear.
You're good.
Yeah. I only have one friend, my brother and a mother from another mother, Berto. That punk ass, when he says, "Oh, you're a bad drunk," I'm like, "You motherfucker, did you forget what you did to me that I was a bad drunk?"
Right.
I'm in the car passed out. I come out and he's rubbing me and shaking me. And I'm like, all right, let me go. He's like, I'm like, "You motherfucker, stop me." And I'm like, "Stop touching me." Then, he's like, "Why are you so mean?" Like, really, motherfucker? I just tripped all over my nice sneakers. I love my sneakers.
Yeah.
But,
So that's when it comes to the difference, I never really saw anybody, unless they were really on something that was more powerful than what we're talking about right now. Like, that's going to make them out of control, whether it's heroin or angel dust or stuff like that. That stuff just, you're not in control. You're a mess. And none of that shit feels good at all. Just I'm going to tell you, that is not the way to go. That is not good, unless of course you really got some fucking issues. And that's the reason why you need to feel that way for whatever reason. And so if you do, go for fucking therapy immediately.
Right.
Seriously.
Well,
because,
definitely.
Because, that's just not a good way to feel. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get that. You know what I mean? So now, between the both of you guys, because I've never done any of these things. Never done them. I've only smoked weed and kept it moving. You know what I mean? Because, again, where I grew up, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking with any of this stuff. It is what it is. So now, which ones do you feel gave you most paranoia? Or or just anything, I don't want to say negative, but just, which one were you most paranoid
I would say,
which one made you, hallucinate more, just feel like Superman? Like, which one?
I rarely got paranoia. Once in a while it would happen, but mostly if it did, it was usually with marijuana.
Really?
Yeah.
You too?
Yeah. Especially if it's a sativa, like
right. If you do, could
for those who don't know, there's technically three types of cannabis.
Right, you got a hybrid.
There's sativa, which is all head. It's all it's uplifting, it's cerebral high, and then there's indica, which is a body relaxation high, and then there's hybrid, which is kind of in between. But so sativas, so they make you paranoid, and there's a reason. I figured out why sativas make you paranoid, because it unlocks the creativity part of your mind. So what happens is you start coming up with shit. If you're not busy and you're just hanging out, you start coming up with shit, and maybe something's like, what would happen if I don't you just and you just start getting paranoid, And the number one thing that back in the day, as far as the cops. No, everybody knows
of course.
They know I'm stoned. They know I'm stoned.
Yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had a girlfriend I was dating, and we smoked, and we were in my car hanging out, and every time a car passed by, I was parked in front of her house, and every time a car passed by, I
You bugged
I
out.
ducked down like it's the cops. Like I ducked down like as if like like the cops are gonna like drive past and go, he's stoned in the car.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It was so weird, like just paranoid.
And that was on weed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and you did. So neither one of you guys had anything
but that's
like
only
that.
if you smoke too much. You know,
Yeah,
what
if
I
you
mean?
smoke- right.
If you know, and that's
And
when you're
but
younger.
that happened a lot when I was younger, though,
Yeah,
and that's because you don't
younger.
know
Yeah,
anything.
you just fucking smoke
You're
a whole
stupid.
fucking joint
Yeah,
yourself. Like
you're an
that's
idiot,
way too
yeah.
much.
Right,
For,
you
you
know.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you smoke too much sativa,
Right.
that if you smoke
Again,
too much indica, you fall asleep. But
Start off a little bit at a time. It's the rule applies to everything.
Right.
It does. It applies
Right.
to everything. It doesn't have to be just one thing. The rules should apply to everything.
Right.
A little bit at a time, right? Don't you agree, Tom? I mean, and then you'll be fine. And when you get to that point, you're like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to do any more now. I feel good. This is where I need to be. You know what I mean? If you're hanging out, you're at the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I do that. You and I go out, right?
Right.
I'll go have a couple beers. I like to take a shot or two of tequila, and then I usually get right where I'm good, and I don't need, but that's a good thing, right? Because we learn through the years.
Right.
Because when we're younger, again, you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
You don't know anything.
Right.
You want to be gung ho, and the next thing you know, you're in the corner shaking and sweating like a little, because you're freaking out or something.
Yeah.
I will say, when I was a teenager at the Fort Wayne Theater, in Brooklyn, New York,
Yes.
I saw Evil Dead.
Right.
And I was on mescaline when I saw it.
Wow.
And it was ridiculously intense. It freaked me out. As soon as I don't know if anybody's seen Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
But in the movie, the one girl has got the cards and she's reading them, and the other girl's like, Queen of Diamonds. She starts reading them.
Right,
And then you see the pencil come. She
Yeah.
goes right in the ankle.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, when he kicked in.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's start right now. Yeah. And I was like, all bugging through the whole movie. So I had to be like 15 or 16 years old. I think it was with my friend Bobby. I think Anthony was with us. We were crazy, man. And then, of course, we had to walk home at night, and it's dark and you're in Brooklyn and there's nobody up, so it was just,
That sounds.
it was crazy, because my parents had no clue. My parents knew half the shit that I did, Tom, honestly. They're like, what? You did what?
Wow.
My
mom's finding out now because she listens to the show.
Does she? Hey,
Hi,
Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Well, this is hypothetical, of course. Just saying, maybe we should have said that first before we started talking about it. But yeah, no, there were times I told my mother and my father stuff. They're like, oh, yeah, you don't remember when I was this? Oh, yeah, this is what I did. They're like, you did? I'm like, yeah, I just didn't tell you then because I knew I would get a beaten or something was going to happen or I was going to get in trouble. But I figured I'm older now. I'm an adult. Now I can confess to you, Mom.
Speaking of like parents finding stuff, funny story. When I was in high school, me and my friend Chad, we cut school and we smoked at my house. And we smoked in the attic because, got to go somewhere, where it's not going to stink.
Right.
We went to the attic and we got done and there was a roach left. He's like, what should I do with the roach? I'm like, just leave it on the windowsill. No one comes up here. 5 or 6 years later, my mom finds a roach on the windowsill in the attic. And she goes, I found a roach. Da, da, da. I was like, Mom, that was like from 5, 6 years
And
ago.
Mom,
My friend Chad.
How do you know that's a roach?
Yeah. I didn't think I'd say
Imagine that.
Yeah.
You just I shot it. You're in trouble.
I
catch
grew
her
up in the
guard.
60s and 70s. I know what that is. Yeah.
How do you know that was a roach, Mom?
Yeah.
That's it. That's crazy. Yeah. No. I do remember a time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a funny time, but I do remember my friends and we had smoked.
Yeah.
I came walking around the corner, and my mom. We lived in an apartment building, and people in the building sat out front of the building.
Yeah.
And they would talk, whether it was your parents and some of the other tenants or whatever. And I was coming around. And my mother came up to me and she's like, are you high? And I was like, yeah. I just came right out and told her, yeah. She just busted me. We stunk of weed. We were all hanging out and smoking. So it's not like you couldn't smell it. You know what I mean?
The very first time I ever smoked weed, I had, AIM was real big, or Instant Messenger. They even call it AIM now.
Wow.
It's AOL Instant Messenger. And people just would randomly message you. And some girl messaged me from my town. And I grew up in a small town. I didn't even know who she was. And she grew up there her whole life too, on the other side of town. Very strange. Anyway, so we'd message each other and oh, let's meet up sometime. And she's like, do you do any drugs? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, do you smoke weed? I'm like, all the time. You're not making it up. And so we meet in we go to the park and we smoke in the park. And she's like, "Oh, this is hydro." And that back then, that was
Hydros was the shit. Yeah,
90, that was like 90.
Then you had chronic,
97. And so I'm in the park, stoned out of my mind. I can't even fucking move. I was literally stoned, like a stone. Like I couldn't move from the bench for like 2 hours. So finally, not so anymore. You know, we're hanging a little bit more, part ways. Go home. My mom's in the kitchen. And she just goes, "Why are your eyes glassy?" I'm like, "I gotta go to bed. I'm tired." She knew right away. She's a nurse.
That's funny shit, man. That's funny.
That is hilarious. Yeah. No, I guess like, for me, you know, just smoking weed, it was nothing but good times. You know, I really can't think of any time that I was feeling bad or violent, or it was just like that was literally just a calm, cool hangout,
right,
going out with our friends and stuff.
Yeah,
like
usually
that.
that's always what it was.
Yeah.
How it was. We always had a good time. We were laughing our ass off.
Yeah.
Same thing with me.
Yeah, great stories, man. We had some good stories.
Yeah, it's good stuff. When you can hang out with your friends, and the main purpose most of the time when you're with your friends is to have a good time and laugh your ass off, because you're a bunch of idiots, you know, and you're just doing whatever. And you know, my friends they were crazy. They just, you know, I'm sure you understand because you grew up in Brooklyn, so you know, like it just stupid shit. We get high all the time and doing whatever, going to school. I remember one time we went to school, we were in class, and it was high school, and my friend Anthony, he was at my first class the other day, and he burped, and a cloud of smoke came out of his fucking mouth.
Happened to me
in the classroom, and the teacher's like, "Who the hell's smoking in here?"
That's great.
It was crazy, and my friend was like,
that same exact thing.
He was looking at me, freaking out. It's like, holy shit.
That same exact thing. I was in, it was my senior year of high school. I was in homeroom, and like a bunch of us had smoked. And that was the first and last time I ever smoked in high school because I got paranoid.
Right.
I was sitting in homeroom.
Paranoia, self-destroy.
And like there was these guys in my class, they smoked before every day. These guys were like total stoners. I just happened to be hanging out with them.
Right.
And they passed the joint to me. I was like, all right, so we're doing this. And I was, I sat in homeroom, and I'm just, the teacher's teaching the class. And you know, like when the teachers, they're talking, they look at everybody, and he looks at me. I'm like, he fucking knows. He knows. He knows. He knows.
You're easy,
he knows.
man.
Yeah.
He would break in an interrogation immediately.
Oh, yeah. Just give me a little weed. I'm fucking done. Hear that, CIA? No, anyway.
Yeah.
Hear that, FBI? No. So I just like blew out a cloud, like I burped a cloud of smoke, and my friend Chad was like, "Dude, you just blew out a cloud of smoke." I was like, "What are you talking about?" The teacher didn't notice, thank God.
He didn't notice?
No, because I was sitting in the back. So,
Okay.
you know.
But usually it just has to linger for enough in the air, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And the teacher, she whipped around, man. She was like, "Who's smoking in here?"
That's hilarious.
She bugged out. My friend Anthony was like, he was looking at me with this crazy face. I'm like, "Oh, shit, what?"
Yo, so now that you said that,
Right?
because we talked, before the show, we were talking about using it to government using it, some of these drugs to get you to talk and whatnot.
Yeah.
So what you're saying now, Tom, so that then you believe that all day you would just
If
talk
he
everything.
gets himself,
espionage.
because he probably if he
Yeah.
from what he tells me and how now when we talk all the time, he's like I always tell him, like, you need to tell yourself, idiot, you just smoked.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to make
best advice.
you have to rationalize with yourself and say, because your mind could go a little, and you just and then you go, okay, hold on, wait a minute, that's right. Remember, you did it for the reason that you're doing it right now. Okay, are you good? Okay, we're good now. And then you go normal.
Yeah,
fine.
see,
You're like, you got to look like, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
You have to convince yourself,
yeah, that's the best advice. That really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple, but you just have to tell yourself, dude, I just fucking smoke. Like,
Hello, idiot.
Yeah. Hello,
McFly.
McFly. Hello, McFly.
Yes. That's
Oh my
great.
God.
Yeah, because I mean,
Is this thing on?
Yeah. Just all the things that, we know of drugs, what we've seen of drugs, and
Well, everything was always on the sneak back in the day. Now
it's like,
everything's so
everybody
open.
should have used it back in the day.
Right.
We should have all been just like happy.
It's in the open,
Yeah.
It's weird, because people always quit around now. I've seen comedians say, I think it was Tommy Chong. he said, now that it's legal, he still finds himself going up somewhere or going somewhere where he could be alone to smoke because you're under the old school mentality where like you got to go hide somewhere and smoke so you can have your weed and then come back. Actually, and
he's a big time stoner. He's been doing it for decades. You know.
Well, but then but now you smell it everywhere, bro. You're in the car. And you smell it, like
I see people when I'm in the van and I'm driving. I'll see the next car over to me. Them passing it to one another while they're in the car. Yeah. I'm like, these guys are out of their mind. What the fuck are they doing? And then I'm like, wait a minute. I think I did the same thing when I was younger. Yeah. Hello.
Listen, man.
Don't preach.
Yeah. No.
No, but it's funny because you have to remind yourself. You're like,
right.
So back in the day, okay, never mind. Be safe, man.
Yeah. Exactly. That's freaking hilarious.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, again, doing it safely, moderation, if you will.
Absolutely.
Man,
everything
have fun.
Everything.
Knock yourself out. Don't hurt anybody. My love thing is, love, peace, and hair grease. Just keep it all mad peaceful. Love everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because enjoy yourself. Don't be.
Right.
It sucks being angry, right? We all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
When we say, okay, shit happens, you have a bad day or whatever, but in general, it's just a waste of energy, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I'd rather just have fun and be happy and laugh and be with people who feel the same way and enjoy themselves. Because that's better.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, that's the stuff you want to remember. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's good shit.
Definitely. Yeah. The fun times. Now, because we were, I guess, too old to be messing around. Like, I can't smoke or nothing anymore because it hurts.
Right.
But when my kids were younger, never even thought about doing any kind of drugs around them or in front of them. Drank my ass off. Like, I would, stay the lush.
Yeah, I never did anything.
But I never did any drugs in front of the kids.
No.
Yeah. And
not in front of them.
Not in front of them, but, you don't stay high. Like, like you go and do you and then you come back and, hang out. Right? Like, you go away. Like, you go somewhere and smoke out or do whatever.
I tend to vape, so like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have to disappear.
Right. Oh, okay.
It doesn't linger.
Duh,
I
I forgot about the vape part.
Yeah,
of it.
that's why I like, especially because
it doesn't smell.
At nighttime, I take the indica and relax.
Right.
Put you to sleep.
Oh man.
Oh, so then with the vape, do they put any of these things, the psychedelics, in a vape? Have you heard anything
No.
yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure they probably would. But I feel like with psychedelics, you have to eat them.
It's funny.
I don't think they can be smoked.
You can actually. I read up on it, and it said you can, but it takes away from burning it the part that you want. It makes it less.
The burning it makes
it less. You need to ingest it. You need to eat it. You need to digest it. Whether it's drinking it or eating it, chocolate, whatever it is you do. You know, that's the way you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
So eat is the best way. Yeah. That's what she said.
Well, I'll have to agree with her. I'm not going to argue with that lunch.
No, not even a little bit. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I guess, again, I'm glad you guys experienced because, you're telling me things that I didn't know, never thought to really.
My teenage years was total experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
There was stuff I did that I wish I didn't do.
Right.
And didn't do it after that.
Well, he never told anybody, right?
What do you mean?
He never told anybody?
No, he didn't.
The experiments?
Yeah, no. He kept his hush-hush. We have an arrangement. But seriously, there was, you wind up, I was lucky. I could have hurt myself really.
Right.
From doing stuff that I had no clue. Again, doing too much of, and then now you're on a trip where you don't want to be. You know what I mean? It's just bad stuff. So you don't want to do that to yourself at all. But that's the thing. Younger, older, more experience.
Yeah.
Younger, your mindset
dumber,
is different.
Yeah,
You're hopefully
when you're
younger,
it's just like I keep bringing up Cat Williams, but like he's talking about like white people when they drink. It's like, tonight we're getting fucked up. Yeah. Like that's that's when you're young. That's all you got. You just want to get like destroyed. It's just like when you're older, it's like I want to experience the positive effects, but I don't want to get like blinded.
Right.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Yeah.
And that's with anything, really. Like, again, this with anything.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, no.
All that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. You don't get any hungrier like you do with weed, right?
No. There's really no side effects at all. honestly,
Aside
when it
from
comes to
the
psychedelics,
emotional-
there's
just the emotional,
yeah, that's it. But it's all it's like, hopefully, you had a good journey wherever you went
Yeah.
and experience. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And but yeah, no, you feel good when you wake up. You're like, you feel,
That's good. Well,
Euphoric. Yeah,
Norms.
that lasts a long time. The euphoria that can last for like a day.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I was feeling, we
you
went to
might not
brunch
be-
afterwards and we were sitting and talking and I was like still in the mindset and it was just, it was good stuff. I liked where I was, what I felt and what I was feeling and happy that it happened the way it did.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And your
That's
happy
great.
ending?
Yeah.
Not literally. You do.
No.
With a big smile.
Again.
Yeah, me have a happy ending.
Happy endings.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's not what I was going with it, but
Yeah.
Tom had that look on his
Massage
face.
parlor, happy
Yes,
ending.
uh-huh.
Happy
Yeah.
endings.
No, yeah, it's good.
Always.
Like I said, I've only microdosed, and like that euphoria lasts a long time.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys had good trips.
Yeah.
And then, so with that,
Yeah. That's good
that's
stuff.
our time for this evening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good
14.
combo.
Yeah, it's already quick. That was good. I appreciate you guys because,
Time flies when you're having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Man.
yeah. Talking about drugs, man.
Just so you know, everyone, before we go, we're going to be doing a podcast every Friday now.
Yes,
So
we're
now it's not going to be every
releasing
2
every
weeks. So we're going to get a new one every Friday.
Yep, every Friday night.
Every Friday night. So,
Brand new
we'll have one done tonight and it'll be going out. So, yeah,
Right, yep.
absolutely.
So one
And,
tonight and
Instagram,
then- Yeah.
Facebook,
Yep. And,
like us, share us.
Yes.
Right?
We're on
All that
Instagram,
stuff.
we're on
Follow us.
Facebook.
Yep. Follow us on everything.
Yeah.
You could slip into our DMs. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yes, please.
Yes. Because, and feedback is always welcome. Laugh and joke. Tell us a funny.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good night. Have a good week. You guys be safe. Don't hurt nobody. So good night. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Hello.